Welcome to the last Epoch walkthrough playthrough guide of chapters 4 to 6. Now, the chapter 4 to 6, if you want to survive, you need to do three things. One, you need to have watched the previous video and understood the offense and defense stuff I talk about in that. So, do go back and recheck that or watch it. That would be advised. I will probably cover some things if you want to just stick to this one. 2, subscribe. If you subscribe, you will survive better. 3, donating with super thanks will let you find a unique with legendary potential by level 60. Now, on to the guide. Now, chapter 4, 5, 6 is generally a leveling areas. So, by the time you are finished level 6, chapter 6, you want to be around level 50. If you're not, rerun the areas, or by logging out, log back in, and go to a lower area that you can easily go through and keep going through until you get some levels up, because once you unlock the skills, you'll be able to fight what I'm facing now much easier. This guy is one of the biggest pains of the chapter 4 early on. His fire beam, even with some fire res, does a decent amount of damage. Obviously, the more fire res that you got, the better, but do take in mind does not make you invincible having resistances. Necro resistance, lightning resistance, fire resistance, all should be up, and then you have a good variant of the rest. Obviously, the higher you have all of them, the best. Physical resistance, as I said in the first one, is one of the most important things to make sure you have up at all times. Now, this side quest is a 3-part side quest, which you should do before you continue on to the quest line. Clear out everything, kill everything, get the levels by just taking out everything. You go through, talk to the door, and then you go to the next side quest bit, which is technically an easier level, so don't have to worry too much about void resistance, but void resistance should still be on your gear somewhere or in your idols. Now, as you can see, I am feeling a little weak, so damage wise I'm trying to upgrade on my weapon. The resistances and all that, I'm trying to upgrade on everything else. Priority is defense on everything else. And as you can see, fire resistance, trying to upgrade everything as I was explaining. This is the easier area level. You go back to Ruin Age to go to the exact same place, but you're fighting creatures that you should be fairly good against. If you're not, then you really should level or try to get gear, because something is amiss. Now you go to the college, you fight through all these creatures. Again, they should be relatively easy. Do take it slow if you need to. Don't speed through just because of anything else. Go as slow as you have to. Once you get that, you have to go all the way back to the original age, the Imperial Age. Then go to the exact same spot again. This is why I say it was a 3-part side quest. And you need to go to the exact same bit, and then it's slightly different once you get there. Now you always go north, and this is why getting it in the earlier chapters was important, because you can easily do this when it happens. Obviously defeat everything and the door. These guys can be a little annoying depending on your gear and your defenses, so do be careful and adjust your stuff. If you're dying, it's resistances 90% of the time. You can die from random stuff, given, but most of the time if you're dying, it's resistances. And now, this is a door where you go in, you don't brush in, you open it, you bait out some of the things, and you attack it on the retreat. Because depending on your build and everything, these big guys can hurt, or you could get surrounded, cornered, and obviously that's all bad. And you just attack on the retreat until you're getting done, and then you're good and done with the side quest, and you now have the side quest reward. As you can see, it's got chests, but most of the chests, it is a random thing, so do open the special chests, but do not have high hopes. Go through with the normal quest line. You can skip this and go straight to the door, which is at the top left of the map. You do not have to fight this guy. You will not miss anything except for XP. But this guy can be annoying. And generally, if I wasn't doing this video, I would have skipped him and gone to the top left. There is a problem at the top left, so we'll get to that once we've finished this guy. As you saw, random drop just like anything else. And then we ran up to the top left, and this is the guy, which is a bit of a problem, but you can always just run past. Most of the time, I want to say 80 to 90% of the time, you can just run to the next door if you are in trouble. You do not have to fight a lot of things. It just puts things in your way. If you can transverse past them, you are well on your way to getting out of danger and either building up to be bigger level, going back and slowly taking it through. Now you know everything is there. But pretty much the hail of arrows, stay out of that and take out everything around him. He's more of an annoyance to his hail of arrows. Otherwise, he is relatively easy to take down. The next couple of bits you run through until you reach this another rift. This rift you will take because of the side quest. We end up in the corrupted lake. This can get you lost, but in general you need to head north, and once you head as far north as you can, northwest, you need to head northeast and then come back down south on an eastward angle. It sounds way more complicated, but it's pretty much a whole loop you're doing, but you got to head west north to come back down to southeast. This guy only has really 2 attacks. His melee can injure you, but you should be okay. He's got a little area of effect and a couple of little explodey bomb things. In general, hit him, move, and he's fairly easy. If you are in trouble, do just run back. He doesn't necessarily chase you very well. As you can see, the health pool's not that big a deal. I will say one thing about this particular playthrough. I found probably one of maybe 2 or 3 uniques I could pick up at this point in time that was actually useful. They gave me a slight 2-3 point boost. As you saw, that worm was the other thing. I always like go to waypoints. It's just a thing. You can just map out of there straight away if you want, but I'm a waypoint kind of person. I like getting all the waypoints. Now we go back to the lake. And obviously go the right way. And go past the rift you actually did until you meet this lady. Everything will come through on the bridge. It will seem easy. It's just a bunch of trash at the start. But then a elite will come and lightning rays. These lightning rays, depending on your elemental resistances, can be a bothersome. Do try to take down this elite as quick as you can. keep moving and just try to put all the damage on him. If you're a melee build, I'm sorry, but you'll probably have a little bit of an issue unless you have a ranged or an area of effect attack. Then obviously talk to the person and complete the quest. The next couple of bits, clear everything. As I said, you want to try to level to level 50 by the end of chapter 6. I'm obviously going through and not just leveling the character as much as possible. So I'm going through, I'm taking out things, but do take things out as they come and don't just run past. This guy, learn the poison mechanic. It will come into play later. And a lot of these little circles where you're versing things and you need to pay attention is a mechanic they repeat as we go through. In later chapters, even in the monoliths and the echoes and the endgame. Again, I like clicking on all the waypoints because I don't trust them to automatically click on it. This have lightning. There is a guy that is very annoying. This guy, very, very annoying. His little lightning circle thing can take like half your health or more. Now as you run around, you just take him out. Slowly but surely. He does have a decent health pool. And you're running around aggravating other creatures, which actually makes the fight harder. But his range is actually quite severe. This is one of the most annoying little bits of chapter 4. You got to fight this, which every hit spawns a Storm Wraith. Melee again, you're probably in a little bit of trouble. But obviously range, you can sort of shoot from distance, so you're a little safer. Now we go all the way through, fight thing, kill everything that you see, and fight the boss for chapter 4. You used to be able to sit under him. They changed it a bit so you can't really sit under him, but you want to try to sit as close under him as possible, and pretty much until he arcs up, you can sit wherever you want, but in front is virtually the only danger point, except for the ground AoE attacks. Which you'll see because they're necro like firebombs. So you pick up whatever. Obviously I'm still trying to upgrade. It's always good to try to upgrade your gear. Talk to this guy. He is one of the most useless NPCs. I'll let you read all the stuff if you want in your own time. But he is one of the most useless NPCs. This, if your poison is down, you will probably die. They are going to nerf the poison for some creatures, but you can get up to 20 stacks of poison if you're not careful. And that will kill you quite quickly. If your poison resistance is not up, your potions will not be enough. Now these scorpions, they're one of the most annoying things. But the door there is later. You need to come back once we reach the town of this, but it doesn't need to be buried in your mind, but remember that is for later. This is one of the most disgusting creatures in Last Epoch. What's your opinion on it? But I reckon it's one of the most disgusting creatures in Last Epoch. And this is sort of non-script, but when you get there and when you learn everything, you'll sort of like know it. The little rock, it's hard to tell, but you go up to the left. You'll know if you got the right path, because you'll end up in the fight we end up in. Now this scorpion can be a pain, but once you learn his mechanics, obviously it's a little hard if you don't know his mechanics, but once you learn his mechanics, it's easy. But just keep moving, attack him, move, attack. If you're ever in trouble or feel you're in trouble, just run. Run, regather, come back. And you can see, I'm just running around, waiting for mana to come back, waiting for anything I need to do, run around, attack, and take him out. And as you can see, I completed a side quest I never had, so it saves you time. Else you got to come back and do it. Now, this, you would do have the bosses. I'll show each of the bosses and what they do, starting with the poison, but any of the necromancers with the scythes you see, take them out as quick as possible. Some of the affixes they can have as modifiers, really dangerous. This poison guy, take out everything around him first if you can. He is a nightmare if you're dealing with everything else. And this is one of the 4 bosses you got to take out. This is a side quest you should do. You just clear the area, talk to the dead body, and then, which isn't dead body, but you earn passive point for it, and it's easy enough. Then this guy, he does physical, as far as I'm aware, because I've had terrible fire res when I've fought him before, and he hasn't done pretty much any damage because I had armor stacked and fizz res. But that big slam is virtually all he does that's dangerous. So that's 2 out of 4. Then you need to go into the Sapphire Quarter. Take note of this entrance. This can get you killed very easily. Now, there is multiple layers, 5, 6 layers of these archers. They can really get you in trouble depending on how quickly you progress through and what gear you've got, RNG, all that. If you haven't been using crafting, you're probably in trouble, because you probably have weaknesses in areas where you could fix. This is the second last boss, which, as you can see, as long as you consistently upgrade your gear, even with the resist to necro, my combination of fire and necro can take him out. And then the last boss is a real boss, which does storms. You need to keep moving. This is not a boss where you sit and tank. If you're a melee, then you may have to sort of hit run. If you're range, play at range and just keep moving, because those sandstorms are not fun. Remember to go talk to the guy north, and then once you reach town, talk to this lady, get the side quest, and then go talk to the Oracle through here. Always do this, talk to the Oracle, because you get passive point. And then go back, do the side quest, obviously go to the shop, do crafting, whatever you need to do. But you go back to the start of 4, and then you 5, yes. getting a bit mixed up now. You go through there and then you're in the side quest. That's the door I said, remember? This guy is easy, but you take him out, touch the tablet. You can just go back to town, but go through this door and get this waypoint. This is for future. Save all your keys. This Temple Sanctum is not something you want to do if you don't understand the Temple Sanctum. So get the waypoint, talk to the people, learn about the back lore or anything like that you want to do, but get that and then go back to the town where you talk to Oracle. Obviously you can just click on the quest and then everything, you can easily find it. Talk to Oracle if you hadn't talked to Oracle, or just keep running past into the catacombs. The catacombs is filled with poisonous and other stuff, so if you haven't done your resistances and stuff by now, you may die a couple of times, because you get swarmed quite easily in these catacombs. The whole point is just to work through a little mazy bit all the way out to Titan's Canyon, where your Act 5 boss is. But there's a couple of things you want to do before you go for the boss fight. There are chests hanging around like this, so if you're low on gear, or maybe think you're lucky with affixes, do click on this chest. There are a couple other chests that I'll show. The chest with a star on it drops a unique, the exact same unique every time. It's a singularity. It's a guarantee. It's also got turquoise stuff, which is minion base items. So if you're a minion based build, then it's also a good chest to hit for that. There's a chest that is on the other path down. I didn't feel like going to get it. This is the boss. This guy you can only attack if his mouth is open or is out of his suit or whatever technical thing is. For the most part, if you're poisoned up, you can tank him. It's the things around him that you'll have to deal with. He used to be a lot easier because a lot less creatures came and supported him. But pretty much just tank him, heal. If you can't, retreat and do whatever you need to stay out of the poison or lower the poison damage. Wait for the drops. It's got a large death animation. And then run through the door and head on to the sort of segue into chapter 6. This used to be a little, I'm pretty sure, I remember this being a little more streamlined and less of a sort of faffle. Now chapter 6, you talk to this old lady, go through the door, this clear everything. It is very easy to just run on through, just get on through to the end of the chapter, but it's almost sort of a trap because the more you run through here, the more you'll pay later. This is the only rift you don't enter. There's a elite in there that drops a shield unique guaranteed, but you don't need to enter it. It's not a side quest. You just skip it. Obviously, if you want to get the XP for going through it, then go through it. But there's plenty of leveling in this next couple of areas. Now, you want to talk to that guy. I constantly forget to talk to him. Fight your way through. It's easy. You don't have to really worry about that sewer. Now, the Barren Aqueduct is a sort of area where you want to take it slow. You want to really make sure you have the damage or the resistance for the creatures you're about to face. Because you're about to face a nest like this, you need to defeat all the creatures in the area and then go talk to the guy. Now, if you're playing, you will understand why is a useless NPC. But I'll leave that for you to discover. This, do not go straight to the quote-unquote town. Take this path I am taking. You run up. As you can see, the town is to our right. You want to head to the left and head into the nest. This is a side quest that gives you rewards, that is worth it. It also, you can do without getting the actual quest. You'll fight your way through like anything else, and then you clear the nest. Relatively simple, but it's the amount of creatures that are actually there that makes it hard. For the most part, just keep doing damage. If you need to, back up, but do keep in mind until you clear it, the little worms will continuously spawn and can be a nightmare once you get 50, 100 of them. This guy's a little tanky, but as you can see, we got it done. That singularity is what I was talking about. I sell it because I don't need it. Because as you can see, there's nothing that says hit on my actual skills. And then I try to find the best build and constantly upgrade, get shatters. And as you can see, character, deathless, Resistances are getting there. And upgrade my intelligence, which then increases my ward retention. Head on through that door. Make sure your skills are up. And then head on through to the next area. Clear everything. I didn't show it, but it is a huge level that we just went through to actually find this door. Clear everything, kill everything, get as much XP as you can. Try to get as close to 50, and it will help you in the next chapters coming. These guys can be annoying. They can be like running away from you, or they can come to you. It's just RNG. It's a pain in the backside, but what can you do? As you can see, you're just hitting mobs after mobs after mobs after mobs. It is really a good leveling spot, and you should take advantage. Before you go in here, check resistances. You want poison, lightning, necro. You want any sort of physical armor. If you're lucky, you got some ward or you got dodge or anything like that. Do make sure your skills are done. Your resistance are up and everything. Because this fight is not forgiving if you haven't paid attention to that. You want to go up, talk to the marker. Take her out first. She heals the other two. If you can and your damage is up, take her out before the other two spawn, at least, and not before the third one spawns. Then you are left with the crab and the snake. I focus on the crab first and then the snake because I can pretty much just tank the snake and take it out. The crab thing is more annoying because of the lightning little orbs and aura floor AoEs. And you can see we're just running around. If in doubt, run around, but careful, the ring does get smaller. Now we just got one, and pretty much same as when we fought him before. We stand in front, we just blast him, and try to punch him in the face. And timber. Now, hit all those buttons, do like, subscribe, and catch you next time. Goodbye.